Remember how to say it.
You recovered.
I do remember how to. I know how to say it, but I saw it and didn't remember it that second.
It happens sometimes. Like we keep wanting to say Hurricane Ian instead of Ian because of Ida.
Yeah, well, we spent a year saying Ida.
Ida, yes.
Right.
So, not worrying about Ian, not worrying about anything in the tropics. And the weekend looks beautiful, and it will be cooler than it was today, because today was hot. High of 88 degrees at Kenner. Not quite the record, which is 92, but a few locations did get to 90 degrees today. A lot of sunshine. We're starting to see a little high cloudiness moving in. That'll continue through the overnight. 53-degree dew point, so the humidity has not been bad, but the temperatures were just way too hot for early, almost mid-October. We are still 90 degrees right now at Slidell, so a few locations did briefly get up to 90, such as on the North Shore and even areas in the river parishes. Now, humidity really, again, has not been bad, but it will be dropping during the day tomorrow. Now, our dew points have kind of been up and down. We tap into some drier air, such as we did yesterday afternoon. Dew points kind of rose during the overnight period, dropped again during the early morning hours. They have been rather low so far today, but they're all going to be dropping quite a bit for the weekend and early next week. Then we will see an increase in humidity by Wednesday and Thursday. Also, these 2 days next week, a better chance of much needed rainfall. Then we get into an even drier air mass as an even stronger cold front moves through by next Friday and next weekend. Here's what's going on in the upper atmosphere. This is the upper trough. Now, the main energy with this trough, this is what's bringing down the cooler, drier air, is staying to our north. So that's where the core of the cold will be. We're not getting into the colder air, but drier air, and it will be a beautiful weekend. That starts to retreat, and temperatures through most of next week will be increasing due to an upper high. Then we get another upper trough that looks like it'll send colder air pretty far south. Now, I think our temperatures will be getting cooler and maybe a little bit more of a fall-like feel by next Friday and into next weekend. So our morning temperatures tomorrow morning still on the mild side. We'll be in the 60s, but then by Sunday morning, as the drier air really starts moving in, it'll be noticeably cooler. Lower 50s, maybe some upper 40s to begin the day Sunday north of the lake. Generally lower 60s, maybe some upper 50s south. Kind of a similar morning by Monday before temperatures will start to increase toward the middle of next week. Cloudiness has already started to increase and more cloudiness on the way. That is before our front moves on through. Now, the front itself, not much fanfare. You won't really notice the difference, although high temperatures won't be in the upper 80s tomorrow. Drier air will be lagging behind, but once it settles in, you'll notice the mornings of both Sunday and Monday will be a bit cooler. As we mentioned at the top of the newscast, we have our 10th named storm of the season. Tropical Storm Julia does look like new thunderstorm development around the center is indicating that it is trying to get a little bit better organized and perhaps will start strengthening. That is the official forecast, briefly becoming a hurricane before landfall in Nicaragua and then continuing through Honduras and the rest of Central America. There is the question as to what happens to its remnants as we get into early next week, as some of the models try and indicate this little remnant Julia, as it is over Central America, starts moving around the periphery of this upper high and being drawn into the Bay of Campeche or maybe even the Gulf. Note the upper trough that'll be deepening as we head toward late next week as well. That would help to kind of draw that disturbance or the moisture into the Gulf. Well, here's what would possibly happen if it were to get into the Gulf. Right now, it looks like it would be drawn northward, maybe toward the Louisiana coast, as rainfall and much needed rainfall. Keep in mind, at this time late next week, we'll have dry air kind of mixing in with that upper trough and very strong upper level winds, which create wind shear. This does not look like, if the remnants were to get into the Gulf, that it would try and develop into anything. If anything does happen, it would likely just be drawn moisture from that system, then pushed away from us as the cold front moves on through. So there are some models that are indicating maybe what is left of it moving into the Gulf, but it would not be as a storm or a depression or an organized system at all. The Gulf of Mexico at that time would be too hostile, and by the end of next week, we'll have another cold front moving on through, which would then push all of that away from us. So maybe we tap into the moisture and we could use it, and it does look like our rain chances will be increasing ahead of that next front, which moves through by next Friday. This weekend, looking gorgeous.